want you to do is I want you to do a function. The function has an input of x, okay? And what I want you to do is want your input squared multiplied by 2. Once you've done that, you take away your input and you take away 4, and the answer you get is your output. We would used to have to put in all the numbers individually. So back at junior cert, you would have had to done this. You would have to do f of minus 2. You would have wrote down a full table like this, and then that's only one of them. Then you'd have to do minus 1. The reason I'm starting at minus 2 is I had to do all the numbers between minus 2 and 3. So you would have had to done f0, f1, f2, f3, and you would have had to done all the writing for each one. That's no longer the case, nor do you get marks for doing that. Okay, so coming up to your leaving cert, all you have to be able to do is use this calculator, and it'll do everything for you. Okay, which is great. Now, all you have to do is go to mode. Everybody can do this with me, right? You go to mode, you press your table function, and once you press your mode table function, you got to enter in the formula that you see here. So you press 2. The x button is in red, so it's alpha x squared. Then you take away your x value, and you take away 4. Okay. Once you do that, guys, what you have is a start value. Your start value is minus 2. Your end value is 3. And then your step means you're going up in ones. Now let me explain. Does anybody have all these points written out in front of them at the moment? Yeah. I'm in class? Okay, can somebody in class call me out all these points, please? Okay, go for it.
Minus 2, 6.
Minus 2, 6, yeah.
Minus 1, minus 1.
Minus 1, minus 1.
0, minus 4.
Yeah.
1, minus 3.
Yeah.
2, 2.
Yeah.
And 3, 11.
Now, the way I draw these diagrams is I look at the top value of, I look at the biggest value of y and the smallest value of y. So let me explain what I mean by that. Your biggest value of y is 11. Your smallest value of y is minus 4. That means your graph needs 15 blocks. You need 4 or 5 blocks below the axis, and you need 11 blocks above the axis. To save yourself time and effort, you could end up doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's messy, it's compact, it takes more effort. So why don't you do it like this? Just go up in 2s, but each block is worth 1. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay? Now, to make the graph easier to draw on myself, if I make it really narrow like this, 1, 2, 3, I'm not really using the space, and I'm going to get a really narrow graph that's hard to draw. However, if I stretch it out a little bit, so on the x-axis, I'm going to have 2 blocks are worth 1. You could even go 3 blocks are worth 1 if you want. And what this does is, effectively, instead of having a really narrow graph, it broadens the graph a little bit and makes it easier to draw and less susceptible to making mistakes. Okay? More accurate. Alright, so I'll go minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Now, below the axis, what do I have to do? Each block has to be worth 1, but I'm counting down in 2s. So minus 2, minus 4, minus 6. You can see as a whole, the y-axis, each block is always worth 1, even though I'm counting up in 2s. However, on the x-axis, I'm counting every 2 blocks is worth 1. Your y-axis and x-axis can be different, but along the same axis always has to be the same. Okay? Does everybody get that? Okay. And so I'm going to start drawing now, okay? So minus 2, 6 means that's the x value, which are the inputs. The y values are the outputs, okay? So input of minus 2 would give us an answer of 6. An input of minus 1 gives us an answer of minus 1. An input of 0 gives us an output of minus 4. An input of 1 gives us minus 3. Then 2, 2 which is here, and 311. Now, do any of you consider that a reasonably tough diagram to draw? See down the bottom, see the way it's not, see the way they're not in line. Okay? Now there is a trick you can do if you want something a bit more accurate. I'll show you the trick now. We go through the same thing again. Okay, so I put in the formula again, which is 2x squared, yeah? Now I want to show you a little trick that I sometimes use. You don't have to use it, but it's just a trick I use. I'm going to do the same thing again, minus 2 end. This time my step is going to be 0.5. Now let me show you what happens here. See the way minus 2 is 6, yeah? And see down this area here. If I found out what 0.5 was, I could draw another point in here that might make it a bit easier to draw. So look what happens when I go down to minus 0.5. Minus 0.5 is worth minus 3. So minus 0.5 goes through this point here. Okay? Then keep going down. 0 minus 4, perfect. 0.5 is the same as minus 4. 0.5 is the same as minus 4. So do you see the way it stays at minus 4 twice? See the way it didn't go straight up from minus 4. It has to go underneath it and then back up again. So when you see a question where they're not directly in line, you can do that as a trick, okay? So what I can have now is I'll have a more accurately drawn diagram than most of you, because you don't go directly across, you have to dip underneath slightly and then you go under and over. Now, how many of you guys did a red line like this, where you would have went down to minus 4 and then you had to hook it back up like that? So how many people did the red line as opposed to the blue line? That's how you prevent yourself from making that mistake. When the last 3 points, when the bottom 3 points, they're usually in line. When the bottom 3 points aren't in line and they're more staggered like this, see the black way I'm doing it? If they're more like that, you're better off using 0.5 to see where the extra points are to make it more accurate. Does that make sense? Alright, now that's that one there done. Perfection. That is the blue line is the one that's done to perfection. Okay? Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to do one diagram on question 10. The difference is between question 5 and question 10 is question 10 requires you to draw a line and a circle. So we're going to do two things here, guys. First of all, is it N-shaped or U-shaped?
U-shaped.
It's N-shaped because it's a minus 2x squared. Okay? And so...
Did you say N?
N-shaped. Yeah. Because it's a minus x squared, not plus x squared. Once again, your calculator will tell you though.
So is it going to look like an N?
Yes, exactly. So minus 2 up to 3. Okay? It's alright. Minus 2 to 3. Okay? We'll do a step of 1 until we have to do otherwise, okay? Let's have a look at the pattern. Is there any pattern in the numbers? We'll see in a second. So, can somebody in the class do that on the calculator so I can take down the points off you, because I'm not going to memorise them all off.
Which one?
This one here. Sean, will you do the g of x one?
Yeah.
Okay, same thing. I just want to get both points off you. So lads, there's two functions. There's a function f of x and there's a function g of x. What I need to do is I need to get all the points for both of them before I begin my graph.
You ready?
Yeah, go for it. F of x.
Yeah. Minus 2, 1.
Minus 2, 1.
Minus 1, 4.
Minus 1, 4.
0, 5.
0, 5.
1, 2.
1, 2.
2 minus 5.
2 minus 5.
3 minus 16.
3 minus 16. Okay. G of x, Sean?
Minus 2, 7.
Minus 2, 7.
Minus 1, 4.
Minus 1, 4.
0, 1.
0, 1.
1 minus 2.
1 minus 2.
2 minus 5.
2 minus 5.
3 minus 8.
3 minus
8.
8. Now guys, I know that this one is a curve. How do I know that's a curve?
Because it's
has the x squared. I know this one's a straight line. How do I know that's a straight line? Because there's no x squared, just an x. That automatically means one in a straight line, one's a curve. Now, even if you didn't know that, it still doesn't really matter. Okay? Now, I'm looking between both data sets. I'm looking for my smallest value of x and my largest value of x. Oh, sorry, my smallest value of y and my largest value of y. I reckon minus 16 to be my lowest. What's my greatest?
8.
Is it that's the plus value? I mean. So 7. You need 7 plus 16. You need 23 blocks to make this question work. So we're going to scroll all the way down. Pretty confident I have my number here. Okay. So we'll just draw our x, y. Now I won't draw the x-axis for a minute. I'll tell you why. I'm going to start by drawing minus 16 down the bottom, and then I'm just going to work my way back up. Minus 14. Minus 12. How many of us had to draw something out and then rub it all out again just to draw it again because you drew your scales wrong? Happens all the time. So by doing it this way, if you start at the bottom and work your way back up, it's only once you get to 0 do you draw your line going across. Okay? Then once again you're counting up in 2s, so that goes to 2, 4, 6, 8. I've successfully fitted in 7 to minus 16. No bother. Okay? In fact, I can just probably just lengthen this line ever so slightly downwards. Okay? Now, once again, with the x-axis, it's very easy. It goes from minus 2 up to 3. I can just go across, and every 2 blocks is worth 1. Very handily done. Okay? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Now, pick up easy marks. Draw the line first. The biggest value is minus 2 to 7. Minus 2 on the x-axis. 7 up into the air. Guaranteed there. On the last point is
3 minus 8.
3 minus 8. You're only allowed to do this because it's a straight line. Okay? And just to verify that with yourself. Sorry, I'll just use a different colour there. It's annoying me. Okay, there you go.
Do you not have to draw all the ones in the
I'm just about to do that, Sean. So, minus 1, 4, 0, 1 is located here. 1 minus 2, located there. 2 minus 5, there. Do you see the way all the points were going to be on the line anyway?
Yeah.
So you can do the first and last and then just draw it there. Now, the blue points, however, are you listening? Blue points aren't. You can't do the first and last point. Reason why? It's a curve, okay, and it's not straight. So what we're going to do is minus 2, 1, located up here. Minus 1, minus 4, located here. Sorry, minus 1, 4. Sorry, excuse me, wrong way. Minus 1, 4 is there. That's a point they have in common, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a point of intersection. 0, 5. Here. 1, 2. Here. 2 minus 5. There. Oh wait, got that wrong. 2 minus 5 is another common point. And then finally 3 minus 8.
No, it's 3 minus 16.
Oh sorry, 3 minus 16. So it's a real steep drop off. Now, I'm not too sure about how to do the corner this time. Do you see the way the corner isn't lining up perfectly? You should be like over here somewhere for it to be lined up perfectly. So once again, if I am to have the time in the test, what I'd do is I'd go back to this here, press equals, start, finish, and I'll just go step 0.5. And you can just, I'm just going to put in an extra point in between 0 and 1, just to see how the corner is going to be taken. 0.5 is 4. So 0.54 is here. Okay? And look to the left of that. Minus 0.5 is 5. So you can see that the peak is going to be in here, isn't it? The peak is, if you have 2 points that are level at the very bottom, the peak occurs exactly halfway in between. So look what happens with the blue dots here. Those extra dots just gave me the ability just to go up and around and line up perfectly. There you go. Okay, that's your graph. Now,
Is it not meant to look like an N?
it would if we continued on down this way. It's part of an N. It doesn't have to be the full N. It can be half an N if you want. If we got the other points further on this way, it turned out to be the full N. Okay, so it's part of the N. Now, from your graph, write down the coordinates of the points of intersection. Points of intersection are going to be, anybody?
2 minus 5.
-1, 4, and
2 minus 5.
2 minus 5. Verify the x values in part 1 by solving this equation here. Anybody know how to solve f of x equals g of x? Anybody? F of x equals g of x. What would you write down? We've done this before in the last exercise.
Minus 3x.
If you write down what f of x is, f is 5 minus x minus 2x squared. G of x is 1 minus 3x. Now let me show you what's going to go on here, guys. What are the two x values when the two graphs are equal to each other? The two x values in the common points.
Minus 1 and 2.
So your answer should line up to be -1 and x equals 2. It should line up to be that way. Okay? So let's see what happens here. We're going to bring the 2x squared to the right. We're going to bring the x and the 5 to the right. We're going to get 2x squared. It's going to be minus 3x. That's going to turn into a plus x. And then the 1 is going to have a 5 taken away from it. Sorry, plus 1 minus 5. Because we moved everything from the left side of the equal sign to the right side of the equal sign, the 0 should be located this way. It doesn't matter what I do though there, I can put the 0 on the other side, can't I? Everybody know why? If I said 2 plus 3 equals 5, I can then say 5 equals 2 plus 3. It's the same thing. So, therefore, what we're going to have is 2x squared minus 2x, yeah, minus 4 equals 0. You can solve this the following ways. You could do a minus b formula, where a equals 2, b equals minus 2, and c equals minus 4. You could do a reference number, or you could divide by 2, and then you get a really simple reference number. So what's the reference number for this one?
Minus 2.
-2. What does -2 break up into to form -1 in the middle?
Minus 2 plus 1.
So then you're going to have x minus 2, x plus 1 equals 0, x equals 2, x equals, and as predicted, the two answers are the 2 and the -1. Okay, that's your lot. Okay, guys. Yes, Sean.